Welcome back. I just want to make a little video today and share this project I just finished up, 1979 Honda XL75. This was not a restoration, but rather a preservation. It's a job I was working on for a buddy of mine that likes to bring me bikes like this and has me do these little projects. I had a few people have asked me, what is preservation? That doesn't make any sense. Well, it's not a restoration. It's essentially taking a halfway decent survivor and cleaning it up and making it look nice again without restoring it. In this particular case, everything that was either needed to be repaired or replaced, both mechanically and cosmetically, was taken care of. But just to be clear, we didn't replate any bolts. Everything was just thoroughly disassembled and clean, and a little bit of touch-up paint here and there on the frame, and essentially just put back together. I'll go ahead and put a link in the description to another video that'll give you an idea of what this looked like when we started out with it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab the camera and just give you a quick little walk around here. All right, here she is. We'll just kind of start at the front and run through this real quick. Up front, extensive cleaning on the front rim, spokes, hub. I did leave this decal on here, Georgia State Patrol 1979 registration. Thought that was kind of unique. Moving on up here, new fork seals. All the plastics were repolished. We were fortunate enough to have all the original plastics and tins with this bike. Fairly extensive work up in this area, cleaning up things, painting things here and there. Did have to install a new throttle cable and new brake and clutch levers, new grips. But other than that, everything else you see up here is original to the bike. There were a few dents in the tank, and the actual owner asked that I leave them there to kind of preserve the originality of this bike. Also, down to the engine, we didn't crack the engine open. There was no need to. It ran well when he brought it to me. I did go ahead and redo the side cover here. Moving on back, we have the unobtainium XL75 side cover. The rear shocks were beyond what I felt was even reasonable to spend any time on. So went ahead and sourced some new rear shocks. That was a challenge as well, because if you look around, you can't find these anywhere. The tires that you see on here, those came with the bike when it was brought to me. Again, original rear fender, and I did go ahead and put a new seat cover on it. The foam and the pan are original, but the cover itself was just too worn and weathered. Also, new rear taillight assembly. That is the original bracket. I just repainted it. Taillight assembly, on the other hand, was another difficult part to source, but I did track one down. All right, here we are on the other side. This muffler right here was actually in very, very poor condition when the bike was brought to me. This rear section here, tailpipe looking piece, was essentially completely gone. So I pretty much kind of rebuilt that, because if you are into these, you know that number one, nobody reproduces these mufflers, and number two, if you do find a new old stock, it's probably going to be $500 to $600, and it just really wasn't worth throwing out this muffler just because the tailpipe piece was rotted out. Also, of course, refurbished all the heat shields on the muffler. There's that side cover again. Big money. Carburetor, gave it a good soak in Berryman's carb cleaner, followed by ultrasonic cleaner, then a vapor hone, and then of course a complete rebuild. This thing will start first kick cold every time, no choke. Also went through and did pull off the foot peg assembly and clean all that up, give it a shot of paint, and re-grease the pivot points for the foot pegs. And you can see there's been some paint work down here on the frame. The skid plate was all but destroyed when I got it. Got that back into shape, and of course had to put a fresh coat of paint on it due to all that work that I had to do. And then here you go, you can see it is in fact a 1979. And then we'll just give you one more shot of the cockpit up here. These are the original switchgear on here. Just worked a little magic to make them look fresh again. That about wraps that up. Okay, I hope that kind of summed things up for everyone. Appreciate you watching the video. It's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this one. As usual, push all those buttons down below, and we'll see you the next time. Thanks.